NBC's coverage of the NASCAR Ford 400 is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser. The race is on. By McDonald's. By Discover Card. It pays to discover. And by Quaker State, the power to reduce friction. On the Discover Card countdown to green before this race, we talked about passion, performance, and perfection. If you weren't perfect, you probably weren't going to take home the Nextel Cup. The last pit stop for the 97 car was far from perfect. It worked last week, not this week, and Kurt Busch, the driver of that car, not pleased.
Well, I'm really glad I worked up past those cars, Doug. All right, boys, it's like we took a provisional. There are no mistakes from here on out. We are starting in the back. We have to work our way forward just as we had a provisional, and it's a shorter race. Hit your marks. Know what you're doing. Focus.
Crew Chief Jimmy FENNIG got on the radio after that, said 150 to go, guys. That's our race. Benny, they tried this last week. It worked, but not today.
What they're trying to do is let the gas man help the right front tire changer. He takes the tire off. But the left side, now there's some confusion. It was like it was a two-tire stop, and the gas man finally gets back around to the rear of the car and puts some fuel in it. So I'm confused, Bill, as to exactly what they were trying to do there.
What they were trying to do, Benny, 4-tire stop, get the right sides done, then come back, do the left sides, because they didn't need all that fuel, but then it just didn't work out as they had orchestrated. They called it the Darlington stop. That's what Jimmy said as Kurt was coming down pit road.
I got you.
Well, you can certainly hear the frustration in Kurt Busch's voice in that deal. I mean, he's just, where's that coming from?
Those clouds overhead. You lived in Florida for a time. You know what those little showers can be like when they pass overhead, right?
Just passing, just passing.
That's right. So under the caution, it looks like it's going to be extended a little bit because of a little excess humidity here in South Florida. And we work the caution here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway with a couple of brief raindrops falling. Looks like it's just about stopped already. Well, Bill, it's probably pretty hot down there. You're in the pit road, huh?
Yeah, this may be cooling things off a little bit. Jimmy FENNIG, the crew chief for Kurt Busch, on the radio with his driver, looking at some of his numbers from the race. He's the guy that just told his driver we have a long way to go. Still waiting to talk to leaning her. Jimmy, first of all, what happened on that pit stop?
We were planning on doing a 4-tire, and I called it off and did a 2-tire, and we didn't get the gas in right away. I basically screwed that one up. I called the 4-tire originally and went down to a 2, so there's a long ways to go here. I believe we'll be able to come back after it and keep digging.
Do you know what happened to your wheel, Jim?
Don't know. The lug nuts were tight. I don't know the story behind it, but my tire guy says the lug nuts were tight, and I looked at the holes myself, and they look good, so I couldn't tell you.
Good luck.
Very honest man. You know, he got up there. Now, here's what happens. He comes in. Now, the tall guy, this is the gas man. The tall guy, he takes off the tire, gets out of the way. He runs to the back to get his gas can. But they changed the right side. The car is down, but the gas man, they still haven't put any gas in it. Everyone is waiting for the 2-tire stop and for him to leave.
Except the gas man, who thought they were doing the special pit stop we talked about on Benny in the pits.
That's right.
So now they're in there and they decide, well, we're in here. Let's change all 4.
That's right.
So for the second time today, the championship leader starting the day runs into some troubles. Now a little strategy played on this set of pit stops. Matty?
While watching that video, you can see both the 24 and 48 teams lead before the 97. 2 tires, Robbie. Are you making headway on the tight condition?
Yeah, I think we're making a lot of headway with the DuPont Chevrolet. DuPont race team's doing a great job. Just a matter of trying to get ourselves in a position here, get the track dry, go back green. Jeff's talking to me right now.
And Jeff Gordon told me yesterday, to win this championship, you're going to have to win the race. They don't have a car capable yet, Bill, of winning it, but they're gaining.
Chad Knaus, crew chief for Jimmy Johnson, a march through the field from 39, 2 tires on your last stop.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure we maintained our track position. You know, obviously it's pretty important here. We were back there in the back, and man, it was a melee back there. People crashing, running into one another. 29 bouncing off us going down the front straightaway. It was a disaster out there. So we wanted to make sure we maintained the track position. Let Jimmy stay up there. Next pit stop, obviously, we'll get 4 tires and everything will be back on schedule.
You said you'd come to the front, and you have.
Did I say that?
This morning when we were talking.
Yeah, I felt like we had a really good race car yesterday in happy hour, and We're not as fast as the 16 just yet, but we're getting closer.
Good luck.
Thank you.
David.
Tony Urey Jr., car chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Okay, he said way better in, still tight in the center. Do you think you fixed it?
Oh, yeah, we decided yesterday we just make small gains today. The car's getting better and better, and we took 4 here. A lot of guys took 2, so maybe we'll see if tires are an advantage for the end of the race right here. But all in all, we're pretty happy. We ain't been that great on these kind of tracks, and it looks like we got a top 10 car right now.
Thanks, Tony. Marty?
Dave, Mark Martin started 11th. He runs 11th. You've had a tight race car all day long. Pat Tryson, have you gotten it any better?
Yeah, we've gotten a little better each run. The Bagger Ford Taurus to start off a little too tight and freed up a little bit more this run. So last run was pretty good. Just need a little bit more. So hopefully we got it pretty close right now.
Pat said for me it was a no-brainer. 4 tires on that stop all the way. Alan?
Show me points. Look at this. 2 between Gordon and Johnson. Busch 54 back now, and we're not quite halfway through the Ford 400. It has been a day for the 5 drivers chasing the Nextel Cup Championship.
Lap 1 spin out. 0 car, Mike Bliss. 0-2, Hermie Sadler, but Jimmy Johnson able to get through.
And Johnson had to dodge another one just 5 laps later. And this one got a little close for comfort.
Yeah, Kenny Schrader gave him a little love tap in the right rear fender, but no damage. Mark Martin had a moment here. Got very loose. Saved it, though.
Then Kurt Busch running in 3rd place at lap 91.
Has the right front wheel brake. Actually, it broke off, and he almost ran into the end of pit wall.
I checked that. He was running in 2nd at the time that happened. Then had a pit road problem a minute ago, and speaking of pit road problems, what's this? Jeff Gordon is on the access road coming to pit lane. Matt?
Last time by, Jeff Gordon keyed the mic and said, look at my left rear tire. Does it look down to you? He says it feels a little funny. Robbie told him to drive the car back and forth to try to clean up the tires just to make sure that the sensation he was feeling was indeed a tire going down. They had Jimmy Johnson look at it. Jimmy reported back that it looked down to him, but he couldn't tell if it was low air pressure or if the tire was going down. They could not take a chance. Jeff Gordon on a drive for 5 championships. You saw how close the points were when we showed you the graphic of as they are running now. They're going to take a look. You can see how that left rear tire was indeed looking very down on pressure. This could actually be a huge break that this took place under caution versus 2 more or 3 more laps, and we've gone back to green, Bill.
Nothing so dramatic for the 97. They're simply coming in to top off. They're also going to work on that right front that got some damage when that wheel broke. Kurt also said, if I'm coming in, make sure you clean the windshield. So they top it off with fuel, work on the right front fender, clean the windshield, and now 26-year-old Kurt Busch heads out on the track and will try and do what Jimmy Johnson did earlier, march through the field.
That left rear did look low on the 24 car. I know we start with low pressures, but it looks flat.
Now, they just changed right side tires on their pit stop before.
That's right. It was used less that he had on the car, so they could not gamble on that. They had to come in. And what they were doing on the 97 car was trying to knock down the front air valence to get it closer to the racetrack.
We were coming to the restart. They have waved that off and put the lights back on atop the Ford Mustang pace car. So we'll take a break here, come back for the resumption of the Ford 400. The chase for the championship, its final chapter today at Homestead-Miami Speedway in South Florida. You ever read a book, and the closer you get to the end of the book, the more you keep turning pages faster and faster because you want to see how it ends?
What I do is run to the back of the book and look at the last page.
Well, not today.
Can't do that, no. We got to run each lap.
We know how the NASCAR Busch Series Championship ended. It ended yesterday with Kevin Harvick winning the Ford 300 as we get our NASCAR Busch Series update. Stopped Jamie McMurray's bid for 3 straight wins by 1 spot. And you're looking at the Busch Series champion for 2004, Martin Truex's final margin over Kyle Busch, 230 points. Congratulations to Martin and his Chance 2 racing team.
And Martin Truex will run about 7 Nextel Cup races next year, and then a full assault in 2006. Jeff Gordon way back in the pack back in 23rd spot after changing left side tires. Matt, was it flat?
BP, this is the left rear tire off Jeff Gordon's car. You can see how they've circled where the cut is. What they found, a small washer, BP, had gone into the tire, causing a leak. Jeff felt that sensation, and he is just so good. Why? He's a championship driver. Just like during final practice when he felt a friction with the car, vibration, they changed everything. He felt something wrong. Indeed, he was correct. Cut left rear tire.
And you know what happens is when you come in for a two-tire change, you come off the racetrack with hot tires. You get on the apron or the access road where all that garbage is, and something like that goes into that hot tire because the tires are soft, and that's where he picked it up because they only changed right sides.
So now Jeff Gordon and Kurt Busch running back-to-back in 23rd and 24th places.
It's like everybody's getting their shot to come from the back in the championship race here.
And these caution flag laps, this rain is not a good thing for Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon. They need all the green flag racing they can get to work their way back to the front.
Gordon's coming in again.
They've got really nothing to lose.
Top off the fuel, maybe. Have not gotten the one-to-go signal. There's another little rain shower peppered turn 3 a second ago. It's kind of a Florida thing. It's sunny on the front stretch, but...
You know, one good thing about the clouds is yesterday around 3:30, 4 o'clock, the sun going into turn 1 was brutal. But I don't think they're going to have that problem today. The glare was terrible.
What are they doing to the 24, Matt?
Already in the back of the pack, they're going to bring the car in again. They're going to pull a spring rubber out of the left rear. Mikey Atwell will take that tire off, will reach in, pull that spring rubber out, and they're going to top this car off with fuel as Jeff Gordon will have to start at the back and begin his drive for 5 here in Homestead.